Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And today we have a ton more crypto news to share. And if you are enjoying these daily crypto updates, make sure you press that subscribe button because again, you do not want to miss this stuff. Having said that, the prices right now are kind of the same as when we started the day earlier. Bitcoin is about $200 lower at about 47.7 thousand. Ethereum relatively the same at about 33.80. ADA $2.25. BNB 420 bucks. XRP about $1.04. And as I said, guys, generally nothing really changed. I guess the last hour or so things are going down about 1-2%. Over the day, we are kind of neutral as well, except for Solana, which is up about 5%, and Luna up 10%. But the rest of these coins are basically at the -2 to +2% region, which again on this channel is considered neutral. All right. Having said that, to go quickly, briefly into the charts, basically into the trend. Just to be honest with you, if we had to make a choice following fundamentals, I would trade the altcoin market cap. How can I phrase it in the best way? If I had to make any choice, the altcoin market cap, I would trade. Like right now, okay, we got a second, oh no, actually not yet, huh? I guess we have to still close the end of the day. I guess if today closes bullish, we would have to trade it because then again, it's our confirmation. On the Bitcoin forefront, this is actually the first breakout candle. The second one, as of this bar, has only been red. We need a green one. On the XP forefront, really can't do. And on the XP, a little bit of short term, I guess we can. Let me explain a little bit further, all right? So on the altcoin market cap, we basically had a bullish flag here. And since we got a bullish breakout here with some confirmation thus far, right now, theoretically speaking, we could go for a long position and kind of attempt to, get altcoins going. Then again, the problem is it's a little bit difficult to trade altcoins, as an aggregate form. I wouldn't really know exactly how to do that. So we'd have to pick some altcoins, and to do that, I would say the best way to do it is just by, buying a variety of alts, like just maybe like a bundle of 10 or maybe 25. But you guys understand as well, that makes things rather more difficult if you want to sell them quickly as well. So to kind of forget altcoins, because I would say altcoin market cap and altcoins in general just show us the trend, right? Because if that shows we are being bullish, we can be a little bit less critical on the alts themselves, which are, for example, XRP right here. In terms of reversal, it does show it. And well, I guess I could say I'm pretty damn excited about it. But the chart is just so vague right now in the sense that we're seeing some crazy hops and some crazy price action right now that I'm being a little bit skeptical with it, because it's like, yeah, what exact point do we consider XRP to have turned around exactly? I guess it's once we start going and staying above the $1.06, $1.07 area. Right now, even though we are up one layer, it's not as if we've crossed any critical barrier just quite yet. We're still hovering around it right now as we speak. Then again, if we follow the altcoin basis, we should also trade it. And if we look on a daily perspective instead of a weekly for XRP, I believe that's actually also the daily now, huh? Yeah, I thought so already, because I usually had the weekly open here, but I changed it to daily. From a weekly perspective, though, the same thing still applies here. We are still, just kind of forming within the triangle. Nothing too crazy happening. It's going properly though, but nothing too crazy basically. On the daily though, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see we have bounced from the area which we talked about before, and we touched the 0.618 Fibonacci level. Again, guys, I have these levels in here for weeks now. I didn't change anything to the charts. If I change something, I'll express it really clearly. But we didn't. I didn't put anything in here. It's just levels that I thought were important, and they still turn out to be. And we bounced back from that about, I guess, somewhere last night and today as well. I'm definitely kind of interested to see how this is going to be forming, because the day is going to close in about 15 minutes from now. Oh, I actually forgot. I'm like, oh, guys, there we go. It's because I'm in Dubai now, so it's UTC +4. I was like, it's almost 4 a.m. for me. So this candle is already the next day, because, well, usually I'm in the Netherlands, so it's like +2. So I thought it was already like, 2 a.m. UK time or whatever, the UTC. But no. Oh, so we have 15 more minutes to go before the candle closes. That's why it was all kind of vague. Okay, so that's again the confirmation we're gonna get in 15 minutes is gonna be bullish on the XRP front. From a daily perspective, I guess it already did bullish though, so we don't actually need this one to close green. I would prefer if it were to though, guys, but for that we would need to move up about 1 cent, not even. Very, very slight amount, like half a cent, not even as well. It can still happen. On the Bitcoin forefront, I don't think that's going to happen, guys. But then again, on Bitcoin's side, it's sad, I guess, because we don't get confirmation here, I won't trade Bitcoin right now in a bullish sense. Of course, I still hold it, but again, I will not open any new critical position. I guess on altcoin front, though, I guess I would be more feeling towards it. As you guys know, I've been buying a ton of freaking alts here. And today has already been a really bullish day for my portfolio anyway, so I don't really mind, but that's my thought process for right now. All right, I'll leave timestamps down below. I'm not sure if I'll leave all the titles, but at least you'll know the sections because of the timestamps, all right? Here's what these XRP holders want to do because Ripple is not going to do it. Long story short, John Deaton is talking about the conflicts of interest basically with Ethereum that the SEC has. That's the long story short. And he's basically talking as well about how the SEC is basically considering every single XRP transaction, even in the secondary market, to be a security transaction, which is also kind of odd. And again, guys, it's just kind of those two things coming together. Now, of course, I'm on John Deaton's side by saying Ripple should kind of address it, or at least think about addressing it, or think bringing it up to the media. Because, well, it could be of critical importance. If Ethereum was indeed biased to make this Ethereum choice, the entire crypto market will really, really want to know that. And right now, we can't really say it's more than speculation. But as Ripple has figured it out, or at least figures out more about it, which they're already doing, by the way, but they're not making it kind of publicly known that this is the case, that could be really huge, and I'm really kind of excited for it. I guess if I had to put up one thing which I'm mostly rooting for is just for this fact to be dissolved about whether or not the SEC really had a conflict of interest or whether or not we just imagined it, but I couldn't think about how that could be. All right, then Ripple to compete with Ethereum as the firm launches a preview version of its federated sidechains. I will most likely dive even deeper into this in a later video somewhere today. But the long story short, I say long story short a lot now, huh? I opened this article 34 seconds ago. Look how fast we are, huh? Well, through a September 30th blog on the dev community, Ripple announced the launch of the Federated Sidechains preview. Ripple had been focusing on building federated sidechains for a long time and announced its vision for the first time earlier this year. And so the federated sidechains are actually one of my most exciting and number one features that the XP Ledger could get. However, I didn't believe it was accepted just quite yet. I didn't believe it pulled through, and not even right now. However, Ripple had already kind of planned that it would be accepted, like some of the other features. Like, for example, the checks feature also needed to be accepted. And a lot of things were already built with the idea that it was going to. So were federated sidechains. To kind of give you guys a grasp, federated sidechains would just allow for basically all sorts of activity and processes. Maybe that's the easiest way in which I could put it down. Amazon could run on there. A CBDC could run on there. Basically, anything that I can kind of think of right now could run on a federated sidechain, which is just something, kind of separate, just taken off. What else can I explain, guys? There's just a ton of things which you could do with that. It's like almost unlimited possibilities. The only negative side about it, of course, is the more functions that you add, the more you're giving up something else. There's always an eye for an eye type of situation with these types of systems. Specifically, the more decentralized that they are, the less features or the worse the features usually get. People say that that's contradictory. No, it's very straightforward. If you have a centralized server or a centralized basically network, centralized entity that handles things, you don't need to verify with all these different places. So theoretically speaking, your speed is going to be 1,000 times faster if you only have to check one instead of 1,000 different computers for something, right? And the same thing goes for the speed, I guess, which you can deliver. If only one person has to verify this instead of 1,000 people, that can be a lot faster. Now, again, it's less trustable depending on your perspective, because if one person gives the wrong information, it's everything is wrong. And with 1,000, if one person gives the wrong information, at least 999 others are given the truth thing. So, of course, if this goes from 1,000 to 100,000, you can understand how it's going to become a lot slower, since 100,000 have to verify this instead of 1,000, which again is even slower than one. But then again, in terms of security, if now 1 out of 100,000 does the wrong thing, or let's put some bigger outliers. If 1,000 people do it wrong, with 1,000 out of 1,000, it could have been bad. With 1,000 out of 100,000, you're completely fine once more. You guys get the idea. So in terms of safety, it then helps. In terms of speed, it usually goes down. And the more features you add, the same thing it kind of happens for. The more features you add, or the more things you change and you kind of add to it, the slower things usually get, because there's more data that, for example, needs to be stored, or more things which can happen in the network, which make it more busy, which can lead to, for example, eventually more spam attacks as well, which again is also why they have this minimum XRP account balance and so forth and so on. There's just a lot of things which tie into an announcement or an idea like this. Same thing for the checks feature on its own. It was basically a big proposal that had way offs, because if XRP is supposed to be this payment token on its own, nothing else, then why would you want all these other additional features competing it with Ethereum? What for? And then some other theorists I've already seen are quoting that Ethereum was afraid of this XRPL feature, and thus, basically they're so hostile towards it. I've seen some theories about that. I can't really confirm, but it's definitely something to kind of think about. I've also seen a couple of articles state right now that finally the fear is over. Not completely true. This is such a skewed number. I've told you guys before, in absoluteness, it means nothing. This number, it could have been 50, could have been 100, could have been 25. It doesn't really show accurately what people actually feel. Or even if it does, it doesn't show what's going to happen tomorrow. This number could be 100, yet the price could fall by 10 or even 25, whatever, $1,000 per Bitcoin tomorrow. So this is like a fake type of security that some people give themselves. And guys, I'm going to actually end off the video here, because I have a couple other things here, but I want to prepare a little bit better to actually give you guys the proper content in a nice little form. So if you want more crypto updates and more crypto news, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely recommending it to all of y'all. Good quality stuff we provide on here. Try to make it very engaging as well. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.